being made to the Romans and all these ancient societies that fell in the past, right? And why is that? Because that vibration has gone out, right? To where it's in the minds of all these average day Americans, right? These talks are becoming more and more prevalent. Okay, that's all you hear now is doom, destruction, judgment, apocalyptic scenarios, right? Calamities, death. Okay, now I want to read a little bit into this, and then we'll get some precepts. But it says apocalypse thinking is surprisingly common and may influence how people react to major global risks, a new study has found. It says new research has revealed that belief in the end of the world is surprisingly common across North America, with nearly 1/3 of Americans surveyed saying they believe the world will end within their lifetime. And that's true. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to, as a matter of fact, let me get that Matthew 24. I had it pulled up. Matthew 24 and 34. It says, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. And that's talking about this generation now, right? Because that generation that was back there with Yahushua is back here now, right? But this generation is not going to pass. So that means that this, uh, uh, what the Apostle John, saw in the book of Revelation is talking about the third woe and the destruction of America, and how he stood upon the sea of glass. Was that Revelation 15:2, right? He stood upon the sea of glass, mingled with fire. Pretty much he saw the sight of America burning. You know that all that's going to happen in our lifetime. You know, and we're seeing it happen we're seeing it happen pretty much at a rapid pace to where we're seeing prophecy, lining up to these times. The Most High didn't wake us up, just for this place to continue on another 100 or 200 years, right? This is going to happen soon, very, very soon. And we're seeing everything line up, in its proper time, right? Because the scripture says how the Most High does not stir up the times till set measure be fulfilled, right? So the Most High has a particular chronological order He wants things to take place. We don't know when the end is going to come, but the Most High gave us signs and tokens to look out for that end, and we're seeing that we in those days. You see, but let me see. Let me read this back. Matthew 24 and 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. So people are in the right mind in thinking that this is going to happen now. But this all started by the way of the prophets, them coming out there and prophesying, making these videos, right? This is how this vibration has gone out. But it says, going back to the article, it says, these apocalyptic beliefs are significantly influencing how people interpret and respond to the most pressing threats facing humanity, such as climate change, demics, and emerging technologies. Mainly the C-hip, right? The C-hip, the brain C-hip, where you got the Project Gideon, all these surveillance technologies, AI, because all these things is going to be used to usher in that beast system, which is going to monitor, track, and trace you, and is going to limit you to where you're going to have to submit in order to be part of the system, in order to continue to operate within the system, this new system that they're going to implement. You're going to have to take the MOTB. You're going to have the digital ID and eventually take that MOTB, right? The micro C-hip. But continuing on, it says why it matters. Apocalyptic beliefs can lead to very different responses to societal issues, with those who believe the end is near and caused by human perceiving higher levels of danger and supporting more extreme measures to address global threats, while those who believe divine forces control it are less likely to support preventative action. Right, because that's what we believe. We believe that this is all ordained by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. There's nothing you can do, you know. The scriptures talk about how you cannot disannul what the Most High pretty much has set in motion, right? There's nothing, nobody, you can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe or disbelieve, it doesn't matter. right? Your unbelief is not gonna make the faith of the Most High without effect, right? So you can go on and put your head in the sand. It ain't gonna make no difference. That storm is coming, right? But it says this can create disagreements across cultural groups that make it difficult to coordinate responses to global risks, right? The scripture says, um, uh, how's it go? If Satan be divided against Satan, how can his kingdom stand? And we see how America is, pursuant to the book of Daniel, going into the 10 toes, and how it's iron mixed with miry clay. This place is divided. This place is fractured. You see, so seeing how this place is so divided, of course, it's not going to stand. Its end is very near, right? To the point where there's nothing that can be done for them to try to coordinate and come together to try to you know come up with some plan, to pretty much postpone the inevitable, right? It ain't gonna happen. Let me see. It says the research conducted by social psychologist Matthew I. Billett of the University of California, Irvine, surveyed more than 3,400 people across the U.S. and Canada. The study found that apocalyptic beliefs are far from rare, with nearly one-third of U.S. respondents saying they believe the world will end within their lifetime. The researchers developed a comprehensive psychological measure of end-of-world beliefs, identifying 5 key dimensions that matter for how people think and act: perceived closeness, uh, anthro- anthropogenic casualty, theogenic casualty, personal control, and emotional valence. Uh, so it says what they're saying: belief in the end of the world is surprisingly common across North America and it significantly influences how people interpret and respond to the most pressing threats facing humanity. So that's pretty much it, right? That was pretty much it. Oh, let me see. Let me read this. It says the takeaway: understanding the diverse beliefs and narratives people hold about the end of the world is essentially for building consensus around addressing global risks like climate change, pandemics, and emerging technologies. Dismissing apocalyptic fears as irrational can undermine efforts to coordinate responses to these genuine catastrophic threats facing humanity. Now, there's nothing you can be done. There's nothing you can coordinate to try to stop this, like I said. So all that is in vain. Not Matthew, Psalms 2:1. Why did the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? It is a vain thing thinking you can stop what prophecy has set in motion, right? So let's get this. Let's get Ezekiel. Um, what was it? Ezekiel 12 and 22. Ezekiel 12 and verse 22. It says, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Right. So for a while, a lot of our people, were in that mindset. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, which make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, are in that mindset of everything is going to be good, right? They pretty much say that we've been talking about the end of the world for a long time. Well, when is it happening? It's been so long. It should have happened in year 2000. It should have happened in 2012, and it ain't happened yet. So it ain't going to happen, right? A lot of them brush it off as it ain't going to happen until another 100, 200, up to 1,000 years, you know. But the scriptures talk about how the Most High is going to show no sign but the sign of the prophet Jonah. So the fact that the prophets are out here prophesying of these times, showing you that we're close, man. We are here. And then we have extra signs now, with this whole war with Iran, right? Wars, rumors of wars all over the place. These technologies, getting more advanced. The MOTB pretty much almost out here. The setup of the economy, to where everything's about to turn digital, right? Martial law, civil unrest, all these things are prevalent, man. And all these things are lining up to what the scriptures um, pretty much describe as being the end times. You see, and people are seeing it, man. People are seeing that we are here at the end. This is it. But verse 23, it says, "Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel." Right. So now the Most High is making it evident that we're here. Right. Even though people still scoffing and mocking, soon, as it says, only 1/3 of Americans believe this. Well, soon it's going to be the majority of the population is going to believe that we're in the end times. Damn near everybody is going to accept the fact that this shit is the end. This is over. Right? And then all you scoffers and mockers are going to shut the fuck up. But it says, "But say unto them, the days are, it says, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision." See, so everything pertaining to prophecy will come to pass. Right? The scripture talk about how none shall want her mate. Right? Let me get that. This is Isaiah 34:16. "Seek ye out of the book and read. No one of these shall fail." Right? Meaning not one of these prophecies is going to fail. Right? "None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." You see? So the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is working in the planet Earth. Right? Making things come to pass. Everything is coming to fruition. Everything we've been speaking about is happening right before our eyes, man. Everything's manifesting itself. And that's just from us just speaking. You see? People are seeing that these days are evil, man. As a matter of fact, let's get this. Ezekiel 7 and verse 5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come. It watches for thee, behold, it is come." See? That evil is coming, man. That evil that's been prepared, because that fullness of this country's wickedness has reached its peak. It has reached its fullness, man. So now that judgment has to come to pretty much wipe out and cleanse this land. All right? It's a lot of wickedness out here, man. And there's no judgment that's going out to rectify the wrongs that's being done. So the Most High is going to send his son Yahushua to bring correction to this planet. Turn everything right side up, man. You see? And that's the only way the kingdom of heaven is going to be established, right? First of all, through judgment, right? And righteous judgment, because best believe this judgment is being prepared, even though people might think, "Oh, this is far out, this is radical, this is too much." Why would God destroy all of America with fire? This is justice, man. This place is complete wicked, man. From the smallest, from the child, baby, all the way to the grown, old ass, what I'm saying, person out here, man. Only the righteous, only the elect are the ones that's crying out, sighing and crying, for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right? They're the only ones that want a change, that want true change, want righteousness, peace on the earth. All these other people, they want it to stay the same. They don't want the kingdom of heaven. So that's why they're going to go along with this place. Right? They're going to die with this place. Now let me get this. Luke 21. Oh, my bad. And 25. And I'm going to close it off with this. It says, the return of Hamashiach, right? Verse 25. "And there shall be signs in the moon, in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring," right? Distress of nations, right? Perplexity. All these things is happening, right? You read it in the NLT, it says turmoil. There's a lot of turmoil going on worldwide. This ain't relegated just to America. This is a worldwide thing, because the scriptures talk about how the hour of temptation is going to pretty much tempt the whole world. This is going to be a global event where there's going to be no escape. You ain't going to be able to go to Mexico. You ain't going to be able to go to South America or Argentina or New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? All these other places and try to find some, safe haven. No, this is going to take the whole world. Job 9 and uh, let me get that real quick. 9:24, Job 9:24. How the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You see, so this man has the whole world. There's nowhere you can go to escape, especially with this digital system where he's trying to implement. Everybody's going to be tracked and traced, man, monitored. There's going to be no escape. All right. So going back, but this is why everything is a complete turmoil. Everything is the way it is, because the wicked are in rulership. The scriptures talk about when the wicked, or when the righteous bears, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. So this should show you who is in power, the wicked, right? An unwise king is sitting on the throne, destroying all his people, all the subjects, fucking everything up. Have you eaten polluted water, GMO meat, lab grown food, lab grown meat? Come on, man. This shit is through. So continuing on, it says Ezekiel 7. Oh, my bad. I'm on Luke. Luke 21 and 25 or 26. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Right? Yahweh Shah. That's what's coming. Best believe people are going to be scared when they see the sight of the Lord, man. When they see these plagues coming, the financial collapse, all these things, because that's what's coming first. Then after that is going to be Yahweh Shah. But it says, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And that's what we're looking forward to, man. Right? This is what we're looking forward to. All these plagues to hit America. That great plague, which is going to be them ICBM missiles destruction, right? And Yahweh shall return and delivering his people, his elect. Lord willing, would be part of that elect. Verse 28, it says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So we're almost out of here, right? Those of us that's been in this thing, that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we understand that these things are coming, and that a time of great trouble, what scriptures call Jacob's trouble, is on its way, which really we're in it. But things is going to escalate to a point where you won't be able to compare this time to any other time in history. It's going to be an event all on its own, right? But hey, our redemption is near, okay? And we should keep that faith to continue to look forward to, that reward that is waiting for us in the kingdom of heaven. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem, Racha HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom and Kwam Yasha Allah.